Alright guys, we're installing some cam bearings into TJ's 396. I've already installed. There's my train again. I've already installed the rear one. We're working on number 4 now. And I mark them number 4. I just kind of like to mark them. I always kind of do a weird thing. I put my numbers in first. These are beveled on both sides, so they'll go in either way. I usually run my fingernail around the edge, try to feel for any burrs, look at the insides, make sure, run a piece of Scotch-Brite over the back sides because these things have been sitting so long to get some rust pits on them. I do it on all of them. You got to really inspect your bearings when you install them. Alright, this one will be at 6 o'clock position, which the engine's upside down, so it will be 12 o'clock in your view. And I usually install 5, 4, and 3, and then I'll take the block off the engine stand and I'll install 2 and 1, only so your cone lines up with the back section here when you're doing 2 and 1. When you're doing 5, 4, and 3, you can use the front section right here to line your cone up. It gives you three mains, gives you a little bit of distance, so you make sure that you line your bearing up properly. Okay, and I usually use my line split on my installer here for a centering up device. Show you what I mean once I get it a little snugged and kind of lined up with it. Okay, you don't want to tighten these things too much, you don't want to distort the bearing, but I line my hole up right here so that I can get a straight alignment straight down here, and some of these don't go straight down, which this one does. It goes pretty much straight on down. Take a magic marker. I kind of like to do this too sometimes. It just gives you a little reference. Oh, there goes the marker top. But kind of gives you a line-up reference. Probably looking at the back of my head. No, okay, we're lined up. Yep. Okay, that just gives me a line-up reference on the front. Let's take this plastic cup out of here. And you really got to drive these things in pretty good. I mean, you don't want to smack the heck out of them, but okay, let me get a light on my mark. Just so I get it started right there, right where I want it. Okay, set the flashlight down, line your cone up in the front. Make sure your cone is lined up good. You got tension up against it. Your hole's lined up with your mark. For a good little starter tap. As you can see, it's going in. And you can see little burrs come off the edge of your bearing. You don't want those to get wedged in between the bearings somehow. So when you see them, just take them out of the way. Always make sure your cone's lined up. You want to be driving your bearing in crooked. Before you get too far in there, I use a long Allen wrench. Actually, you can look down through there with a flashlight. Yep, I'm just starting to come into the center of my hole. Just a couple more taps. And I'm pretty much centered. One more, get a little tap. Try to get your bevel even if you can. A little bit come out on that side there. All right, a couple more. Just a little bit. We're even on both sides, sticking out. And yeah, we're right. Dead center. Looks good. Geez, yeah, there's no way I could probably get that light to look down in there with the camera. But anyway, guys, just center it up. Make sure you're centered. And that looks perfect. We'll move on to the next one. And just spin that. Pull it out. Come all the way back. Grab number 3. Like I said, I like to run my numbers in. Just a weird OCD thing. Okay. There we go. Don't over tighten it. Gotta be real super careful with them bearings. Okay, make sure you line your cone up. Let's see, we on the right spot here, we all can see it. Let me slide the motor back just a little bit. I'm probably gonna knock you out of distance here and have to reset it. Okay, actually, that don't look too bad. Okay, I can probably spin you a little bit. There we go. Try to tilt it out. So, see, it's kind of hard to figure in these viewfinders because it's backwards right now. Okay, there we go. Actually, let me turn you. Sorry about that, folks. Let me turn you where you can see the cone line up in the front. There we go. All right, I see that. All right, now you can see how I do my mark. I actually pull this back, stick my light down in here, and I just look through and kind of eyeball it. And that's about it. Yeah, I can see that perfectly with my light on. And there we go. I don't know if y'all can see that mark. Probably not. Nope. Oh well. You'll see how it lines up. There we go. I got my dot lined up with my mark, which is basically, with the engine upright, will be 6 o'clock position. We're upside down, so you consider it 12. Okay. Engine stand, don't move out of the way here. It's got good rollers. Okay, here we go. Give you a little first. Light wants to get her started. Drive it right on in there. feels like it's smoothing up there. Not coming out the other side, but always pay attention when you're coming up on your hole. The upward peak through. You don't want to drive it too far. You can go back from the backside and drive it back forward again, except for your two end ones. I guess, well, yeah, actually you can. You can go back and forth, but your two end ones, you can't really get behind it and tap them this way because you can't center your cone. So you can really only do that with your center ones to move it back and forth if you go too far. So we need to go just a little more here. Probably another eighth. Knocking y'all out of distance. Yeah. Come back up here. Oh yeah, we're almost dead center. One tap. That's it. I felt it move. Yes, perfect. Oh, well, nothing's ever perfect, but that's right in the center, right in the center. And your back one's a grooved one all the way around, so I'm not going to tell you where I put my hole there because it's so controversial. But I put it in one spot where there's a, you know, when the indent runs all the way around the inside of the block on the back side of the cam bearing. It oils all the way around, but you don't want it lined up with one of your mains because you get a lot of pressure from your valve springs. There's my train. But your valve springs push down on your cam through your lifter and push rod, and you can close this hole off in the back if you've got the journal running all the way around the outside of the bearing groove or indent. You can put your hole in your cam bearing in a different location. You don't want it directly on there. It'll feed right through. These always have to be lined up directly with your main cap holes. Otherwise, you will not be oiling your camshaft. All right, guys, we're going to have to take this one off the stand and come back through the back side to do number 2 and number 1. And we'll come back when we do that. All right, guys, y'all, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little thing on a cam bearing install on a 396 big block. This is a 67. The 65 and 66s didn't have the rear groove running all the way around or the indent on the outside of the bearing, so you had to line up the holes a certain way, but we don't have to worry about that. That's not this block, so we'll be moving on to number 2 and number 1, and then we will throw our Lanati cam in there and check and make sure they line up good. Alright, guys, y'all, thanks for watching. We'll come back on the conclusion of that one. Take care.